Edson, do you have a favorite sport? Do you have a favorite sport, Edson?
Yeah, but I don't practice anymore. I just watch it on TV. Box.
Okay. Boxing.
Yeah, boxing.
Okay, nice. Yeah, boxing's cool. Do you have a favorite boxer?
No, actually, no. I know who are the good ones now, but I just enjoy the fight. I just enjoy that good fight.
Okay, nice. And Arwa, welcome to class. Arwa, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for
Sorry,
asking.
I'm new here and I didn't know.
Okay, so you're new
Yeah,
here and what? So you said you're new here. What else did you say? I'm
I
sorry.
didn't know everything in this.
Um, I'm not sure if I can
What?
hear you very well. You might have a slow
Oh,
connection. Hmm. Or it might be me. I hope not. Um, Jegors, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Okay. Um, yeah, Ottawa, I'm not sure. I think maybe it is your connection. It doesn't look like it's mine. Um, maybe if you leave class and try to come back, that might help. Or if you can get closer to your router, that would help as well. Uh, but okay. And so, Jegors, what did you do? What have you done today? What have you done today, Jegors?
As I mentioned before, I tried to contact with inform technicians that on the phone that have a problem with my router, but I was, I think, 47 in the queue to speak with the technicians, so I gave up after couple of minutes. I went there,
Okay.
I went there, the place said, I think I crashed it for a couple of hours because I went to the city center, I went back, it was quite a long way. And later I went to the church, and when I come back to the church, a couple of hours, I just speaking with the family, and I decided to join
Okay.
to the Verbling.
Nice. Nice. Well, it's good to see you. Um, okay. And Ottawa, how's your connection coming along? Are you still there, Ottawa?
yes, but I want to fix my connection. After that, I come back.
Okay. Okay. Just let us know when you're ready.
Okay.
Okay. And Jegors, what about you? Do you have a favorite sport?
Um, not really sports. When I was a teenager, I think I was quite into the martial arts, but I wasn't good at it. So,
Okay.
judo classes, jiu-jitsu classes, kung fu classes, and a couple of other things that I did, and I didn't really know exactly what it was, but I think at that time it sounds cool, so it was more important than actually what I was doing. So a couple of
Okay.
things, but
Nice.
nothing really serious.
Okay. And so, Edson, you like boxing. Did you ever get into martial arts at all?
No, I don't know. Well, I did kickboxing too, but I don't think it's a martial art. No. Yeah, I did kickboxing and boxing.
Okay. Nice.
There are
Um,
some elements of the martial arts in the kickboxing.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, kicking, avoiding the punches and stuff like that. So.
When someone talks about martial arts, I always think in chops. I don't know why.
you always thinking what?
Chops.
Chops. Oh, like karate chops?
Yeah, karate.
No, that's fine. Um, yeah, chops. Yeah, we'd have to say karate chops to have it
Okay,
just
karate chops. Okay.
understood. But cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
because with if done sounds like food or what?
Like chopsticks or like a just a
Chomp
chop.
lambs.
Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah,
Lamb
chopped
chops.
lambs, like lamb chops,
Lamb
pork
chop.
chops. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, what? Yeah.
Karate. Karate. How do you pronounce that word? Karate? Karate?
Karate chops.
Karate chops.
Karate. So it's in the chat box. Karate.
Karate. Okay, karate. Okay.
Okay, good. And let's get started. Yeah, of course. On today's lesson in technology. And so, Grzegorz, can you read the title and the next couple of lines?
Yes, technology. Today we'll talk about what kinds of technology we use most often, what technology will be like in the future, how technology affects and will affect the future.
Yeah, which is actually kind of redundant, isn't it? But good. Yeah, the only small thing when you said technology here sounded off, but the rest of them were good. So really good work, Grzegorz. Okay, and let's go on to the next page. Grzegorz, can you ask Edson the first question?
What type of technology do you use most often in your daily life?
Okay, well, every day I use my computer, my smartphone, my tablet, and I think that's it.
Okay. And my tablet. I think that's it. We might want to change the place of every day. Where would you put
Okay.
every day?
At the end, right?
Yeah, I'd put it at the end. I use them every day.
Okay.
It just sounds much more natural.
Okay.
At the beginning,
Yeah.
it works, so it's not a big deal. It just sounds a little bit more natural at the end. What
It's
about you? Huh?
It's the second time a teacher tells me that, so this time I won't forget.
Okay, perfect. Of course. Yeah, Grzegorz, what about you?
Right now, here in this room, I have a couple of computers, different computers, and I use my cell phone, which is quite old compared to the computers, but computers are not new, couple of years, all of them. So I don't use any television. Sometimes I prefer to listen to the radio.
Okay, the radio. What do you listen to on the radio?
I'm doing lessons sporadically, so sometimes I just when they discuss about the politics or sometimes the music, but it is quite rare. It is when I don't want to spend more time with the computer. I just like to, listen something. Don't try to, be tired of spending time with the computer all the time. So it is more like a time when I decided, okay, I'm gonna do something else.
Yeah.
And the radio is some kind of, I should say, old school thing.
Yeah,
So-
definitely. It's okay. Not too old school, but a little bit more old school. Okay. And so, Grzegorz, can you ask Edson the next question?
I should ask. Yep.
Yeah.
If you could invent, oh, sorry, because text disappeared. Just to click. If you could invent a new technology or gadget, what would you create?
I would create a gadget that helps blind people to see, colorful and like we do.
Interesting.
Okay.
I would be the first client.
Okay. Like we do. Perfect. And so why, I mean, of course, that's good. So what makes you say that? Why is that the first thing that came to mind?
Why?
Yeah,
Why
just
this?
interesting.
Well, because being able to see all the colorful, that everything, I think it's the most precious thing that we have, or the most precious sense that we have. So I think it will be good if everyone could see everything the way
Nice.
they are, the way things are. Because now I think there are some devices that makes people see, but they just see like the shape and shadows, but they don't see all the colors. I think it
Okay.
will be great.
Yeah, I think it would be good for everybody to see everything the way things are. Um, um, yeah, nice. That's awesome. And so, Edson, can you ask the same question? And Jagors, can you answer?
Okay, Jaguars, if you could invent a new technology or gadget, what would you create and
Uh,
why?
Sometimes when I spend the time with the computer, I might see many boring things that I'm doing every day. I think one of the things that I probably maybe exist, maybe it is not really combined in those elements. You know, learning the language is quite fun, but one of the things that I always try to do when I, try to learn new words and I want to, pay attention on the things what I'm watching. So, for example, if there's a movie with a bit of complicated text and with many definitions that you are not quite sure, one of the things that I want to prefer is, you know, because when I work with the computer, I have to watch the movie with subtitles sometimes because it expands the vocabulary and checking my knowledge. But at the same time, I have to switch between text editor and the movie. In this case, I just want to, don't want to, I just want to focus on the movie and everything what I see, I don't understand. It will be cool if I can just, I don't know, use my hands, say I just copy this word to the my text editor, translate to the correct definitions. Sometimes the correct definitions is really hard to find on the internet, so that is quite small things for me,
Okay.
Okay.
but quite useful for I think for everyone who just want to enjoy the movies, and that will be one of the ways that they want to learn English, or just check the vocabulary because sometimes in one movie we can see 3 new words, or sometimes we can see 10 new words. That's the
Okay,
point.
sometimes. That's good. I think that's good. One of the small things, make sure you do that third person S. So
Yeah.
it expands, someone who wants. Just don't forget that third person S.
Yeah.
That sounded good though. Maybe try, just so I can correct you a little bit more.
Yeah.
Maybe just try speaking in more complete sentences.
Yeah. Because
That
I
was really good.
because
Sorry, keep going.
because I try to speak faster and sometimes I drop the letters that I shouldn't. In many ways, I probably makes pronounce letters that in theory you don't hear. So this is one
Yeah.
of the mistakes.
Which is fine, and especially if you're in a normal conversation, that's good. It's just if I'm gonna be, trying to watch your grammar, it helps to have you speak slowly so I can type it down a little bit. But
Yeah.
good. One thing, speak quickly. That's a small point with just an adverb. So our adverbs modify our verbs. So when I'm trying to speak quickly, you can say speak fast. It's really common for people to say speak fast or speak quick. It's grammatically incorrect, but just a small point. So something to be aware of at least. But good. And so, Jegors, can you ask Edson the last question?
Yes. How do you think technology will change in the future?
Um, I think it will continue doing what it's actually doing now. I mean, it's going to make us work at home, and we are going to develop a better public transportation. And yeah, keep improving everyone's life. I think they are going to focus on new diseases that we see these days, like Parkinson or something like that.
Nice. Okay, good. And yeah, Jegors, what about you? How do you think technology is going to change?
I think we have to think about advantages and disadvantages. So I believe that in the future we'll have, faster computers, far better devices in our cars, or homes. but at the same time in the workplace, we'll observe them, that in this place we'll need less people than it was a couple of years ago, or maybe many years ago. So there will be a higher rate of the unemployment because the machines will do most of the tasks. But at the same time, I think that there will be more specific jobs that will require from the people specific knowledge about how to prevent some, I don't know, security issues, some problems that they have to deal. So I don't believe that we'll be talking only about positive changes. I think we'll be talking about more negative changes because machines uh, gradually replace people in many areas.
Okay, nice. That's really. Have you taken this class before, Grzegorz?
No, no, no. I just I speak a lot. Sometimes I speak for many years with people about technology and things, and sometimes I saw programs that applications that I needed actually 10 years ago, and 10 years later I have these applications and do all the stuff that I was worried couple of months
Yeah.
ago. So it's quite impressive sometimes, but sometimes I see the problem.
Yeah, quite impressive, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. Nice job. Okay, good. Do either of you have any questions on this page? Okay, let's go on to the next page then. And Edson, can you read the first 4 words?
Yeah. Yes, vocabulary. Technologically savvy, innovation, advance, and breakthrough.
Good. Technologically.
Technologically. Is it
Log-
better?
Yeah, that was good. Technologically.
Okay.
And then when you said vocabulary, it sounded like you said vocabulary.
Vocabulary. Sorry.
Vocabulary. Don't be sorry at all.
No, it's just that I know that word, but I don't know why I pronounce it that way this time.
It's okay. Vocabulario, probably.
Yeah.
It was just one of those
Maybe.
words that are similar. Okay, Grzegorz, what about the last 4 words?
IT, information technology, state-of-the-art gadget, appliance.
Good. Yeah, that sounded really good. Do either of you have any questions about any of these words?
In the first one, I saw this word so many times, but after technology, that is savvy. I don't remember the meaning. I think it was something negative. I'm not sure.
Okay, it's positive.
It was
Edson, do you have a guess as to what it means, or do you know?
Yeah, it's when you know a lot about technology. You are
oh,
tech savvy.
right. Now I remember.
Yeah, it's when you know a lot about technology. Just like savvy is educated.
Yeah. So now I had this word in my text file, but sometimes I don't remember the meaning.
Yeah, don't worry about it. That's good. Any other questions here?
No.
Okay. Can each of you choose one word, and can you write a sentence with that word in the chat box?
With each one?
Nope, just
One
one
word?
word. Just choose one word and write a short sentence.
Okay. Uh, mm, mm, uh, IT. Department.
And just remember the sentence doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to go over them.
Okay, alright, to the first.
Nice, Edson.
Uh,
Okay, and Edson, can you read your sentence?
Yeah, our IT department is one of the best in the city.
Yeah, perfect. And I wouldn't change anything there. That sounds really good. Um, so yeah, really good sentence. And Grzegorz, are you almost there?
Almost.
Okay.
The invention of the computers was a major breakthrough for many people.
Okay. Is it written down somewhere? Sorry, just so I can put it on the board so we can look at it too.
There's on the chat.
Okay, maybe I'm just looking in the wrong chat. So one thing, Grzegorz, is I usually do use the other chat box, the application,
Oh,
when I'm typing, so we don't have to go back and forth. But good. And also I don't want you to
can repeat
lose
it
things.
slowly. The invention of the computers was a major. I dropped it.
Okay.
Was a
Yeah.
major breakthrough for many people.
Good. And we've got another problem with articles. So how else do you think you could change this sentence? It's an error with articles.
With the articles, I think. Um. Uh, I think that was the major breakthrough for many people.
Okay, no, was a major breakthrough is good. I think that's perfect because it's not the only one. It's not like it's
Mhm.
not the, if you were talking about the breakthrough, it'd be
Yeah,
a little bit
because
more, yeah.
I think one of the tips that I remember that if we're thinking about technology invention and stuff like that, I saw this hint that I should put that if I'm speaking about something, you know, precisely about computers. But if I speak generally about technology, I shouldn't put that da before the invention.
Yeah, so it's a general thing, so it's a major breakthrough. It's not too specific. It's a different problem with a different article. Um, Edson, can you help him out here?
In which the invention?
No, so it's not the invention. The invention is
No,
fine.
no. I mean with that sentence,
Yeah, with this sentence, how would you correct it?
the invention breakthrough for the
Da before
invention
the
of
computers.
computers without the, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we could say the invention of computers or the invention of the computer. The invention of the computer would work as well. So the computer is like the beach, where it's a general idea that is kind of all-encompassing. So you could either say the invention of computers with no article, or the invention of the computer as a general overarching thing.
I don't know. Sometimes I just use off and later automatically use da. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's still really good job. Um, but good. And yeah, so really good sentences. Let's go on to the next page. Hold on, if I can get this to work, maybe. Good. Okay, and so let's have Edson. Can you read the first sentence with the correct answer?
Okay. Sometimes simpler forms of technology are more effective than cutting-edge solutions that can be less reliable.
Good. Really nice work. Cutting edge. And Grzegorz, can you try the next one?
Yes, one difficulty for consumers is that if they invest in new technology, it may quickly become outdated or obsolete.
Nice. Dated or obsolete? Consumers. Can you repeat consumers? Grzegorz?
Yeah.
Sorry, can you repeat that word? Consumers.
Consumers.
Good.
Yep.
Nice. That sounded great. And Edson, can you try the next one?
Okay, the digital native generation has a considerable advantage from people an older generation who sometimes find it difficult to adapt to new technologies. Did I say it right? It's just that
No, sorry.
no, it needs to
You
be in that order. People from or from people.
Um,
Okay.
oh, it's
It
over.
was
Over
without
people from.
people, over people. Okay.
Over people from an older generation.
Okay, from an older generation who sometimes find it difficult to adapt to new technologies.
Yeah, I'm not sure how. Yeah, okay. Sorry, just I must have typed it out wrong. Good though. Sorry about that. That was my fault, not your fault. Good reading. Grzegorz, can you try number 4?
Yes, I will try. Not everyone, however, is equally enthusiastic about these advances, and some um, digital native even refuse to own a mobile phone.
Quite. There's a better answer.
Um, Technophobes, I think.
Yeah. Good. Technophobes. So, a digital native is somebody who was born into an era where computers were always around. So somebody who's been born into this like computer world, um, somebody probably past 1995, um, and a technophobe. What's a technophobe, Grzegorz?
Um, Technophobe is actually the person who afraid the technology.
Who does what?
Hates the technology.
Hates. Yeah, exactly. Or fears. So phobe is a Greek ending that it means fear. So you could be an arachnophobe, or a technophobe, or an agoraphobe. And arachnophobe would be fear of spiders. Technophobe is fear of tech. Um, agoraphobe is fear of like leaving your house. So phobe is always going to mean fear of something. And then mobile. Can you repeat mobile?
Mobile phone.
Good. Usually we'd say mobile. It's almost like a all sound. Mobile.
Mobile, yeah.
Nice. Good. Mobile is probably the more British way of saying it. In the US, we'd say mobile. If you're in England, mobile works. And Edson, the next one.
Yeah, one example of how new technology can harm more traditional industries is the negative impact ebooks are having on old-fashioned publishing.
Publishing.
Publishing. Publishing.
Good. Good. Grzegorz, can you try the number 6?
This can be seen by how in just 20 years most people expect to have internet connection and are disappointed if it's not broadband.
Good. Really nice job. Oh, and so did you guys have any questions on this page? Any questions?
No.
No.
Okay. Good. And so, Edson, can you read this quotation?
Okay, quotation. Read and discuss. The jobs that the robots will leave for humans will be those that require thought and knowledge. In other words, only the best educated humans will compete with machines. Howard Ragnall, an internet sociologist, told Pew, an education system in the US and much of the rest of the world are still sitting students in rows and columns, teaching them to keep quiet and memorize what is told to them, preparing them for life in a 20th century factory.
Good. That sounded really good. Yeah, really nice reading, good pronunciation and everything. Okay, and so, Grzegorz, what do you think about this? What do you think it's trying to say?
Uh,
Any ideas?
No, actually, no. I was just thinking about it, what I should say in this case. Hmm. Look, I think when I look at the first sentence, the jobs that the robots will leave for humans will be those that require thought and knowledge. I think we shouldn't trust that machines do it things in a perfect way, because actually machines use specific patterns. So, for example, if I have a computer and I want to make, I don't know, run this application at 4 o'clock, later try to, you know, open this application later, just, change the lines in this file, I can just, create this file, add some specific lines, some specific instruction for the machine, but sometimes when I leave the machine and maybe I made a mistake, the computer actually will not do the task because I made a mistake. So in this case, the only person who will be able to correct that will be the human.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And so, Edson, what about you? What do you think about this?
Well, I think I'm not sure if it's true. I mean, machines competing with well-educated humans. It's not. I don't think so. Machines will compete with bad educated humans
With
because those
badly.
are with badly educated humans because those are the persons who are doing the repetitive jobs that um, robots can do.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's actually what this is saying. So the jobs that the robots will leave for humans will be those that require thought and knowledge.
Yep.
In other words, only the best educated humans will compete with machines. We'll still have jobs, is what it's saying. So, you know, it's really saying that the poorly educated people will have to compete with machines, but the machines will automatically win. Machines will automatically take the working class jobs, is what it's saying. So the only people who will actually compete, who will still have jobs, are the well-educated people. Make sure people instead of persons.
Okay, people. Yeah.
Um,
A question?
no. I was thinking about something else. I was thinking about bad educated people because nowadays they're forced, to do specific tasks on the computers. So I don't think that that will be the major threat for them because they still will be using the computers. They just be forced to use it even if they are not well-educated people.
Okay. I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Can you repeat that point?
So, for example, if we have an employee who actually is not well-educated person, it still will be required for the still other people will be required that he need to check this page, register on this website, and that will they will have to gain specific skills if they want to do just simple tasks, so registration using the web browser and many other things. I don't believe that, for example, that a person who is educated is well educated. It means that have a better chance to you know to learn about the computers, about technology. Sometimes I see people who are well educated, but they don't. You cannot notice any advanced application that they use.
Okay. Okay. I'm still a little bit confused. I think you're making a good point. Um, for sure. Um, yeah, so there'll always be like kind of niches for people to like use work with technology in like different ways. Yeah, I'm still a little bit confused, but I think that was good. Let's move on. Grzegorz, can you ask Edson the first question?
Do you think technology will eliminate blue-collar jobs?
I think it will, but not now. Like in maybe 300 years, because blue collar jobs still needing still needing person who thinks about the problem. Yeah, it's a hard work, maybe repetitive, but that doesn't mean that they don't make choices that I think current machines or current robots can do.
Okay, nice. It doesn't mean they don't make choices that current machines and robots can't. Yeah. Blue collar jobs still need people.
Yep.
Again, instead of persons. Um, yeah, good. And what about you, Grzegorz?
I don't believe that that technology will eliminate blue collar. I think that some machines still require blue collar workers. Um, in the future, maybe we'll see the situation that there will be a gradual marginalization of the blue collar workers in some places, but the machines um, they do it gradually. They just don't go to the some specific process. They just don't go in this direction that we don't need any more people in this place. I
Nice.
think I think there will be for example, if we have a factory, we need 15 people. Maybe in the 100 years later, we'll need only 10 people.
Nice. 15 people. 100 years later, it will only need 10 people. Really good. Nice use of marginalization. There will be a gradual marginalization of blue-collar workers. That's
I love this word.
really impressive. Pardon?
I love this word. Gradually, when I first saw it, I just write it down. I use it every time when I have a
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it's just really advanced English as far as like using it correctly, and it fits perfectly in that sentence. So that was good. Okay. And Grzegorz, can you ask Edson the next question?
How else will technology shape the job market in the future?
Well, because I think it will eliminate blue collar jobs. I think it's going to be better in the future. It's going to be better for everyone because people will need to educate themselves in order to achieve a new better world and avoid, well, those jobs are not going to exist anymore, so we are going to have better educated people and better jobs, and that's it.
Okay. Educated people and better jobs. Good. And what about you, Grzegorz?
Um, I think, in my view, the ever-increasing number of the machines and computers will affect um, the scale of the unemployment in many sectors. However, at the same time, we'll observe the you know the necessity of well-prepared, well-trained people for the more specific task instead general physical works.
Okay, for maybe highly trained
Yeah.
specialists. Good. I think that's really good. Do either of you have any questions on this page?
No.
No.
Okay. Good. And let's go on to the next page. And let's have Edson. Can you read this paragraph?
Yep. Science fiction and technology. Science fiction writers like Jules Verne have
Verne.
always like Jules Verne have always written about incredible scientific advances like submarines and space travel, years before such things were thought possible.
Good. And Edson, can you ask Grzegorz the first question?
Yep. And Gregor, when you were a child, what science fiction technologies did you think you would see by 2014?
Science fiction technology. When I was a kid, I didn't really think about the technology. I remember that I have had always want to have computer, but I don't remember any specific, science fiction technologies that I will see by the end of the 2014. You know, in Poland, that was the situation that every kid who had a computer in the 90s, it was like like a dream.
Yeah, for sure. Edson, what about you? What did you think?
Well, I think that we will have flying cars. Or maybe flying cars, or at least self-controlled cars or driven
Yeah, self-driven cars.
self-driven cars. Yeah.
Okay. Past tense. How'd you change that?
I thought
Yeah, I
we
thought,
would have flying cars. Okay.
or at least
Self-driven cars.
good. Um,
There's something interesting in this text. Not thinking about the text because submarine. I remember that I saw in dictionary that when I type sub, and because I was watching the movie about submarines, I just typed sub, and it was like other name for the submarine.
mhm. Yeah, you can say a sub. So this adds a little bit of confusion because a sub
Yeah,
is a
because
sandwich. Yeah, and a submarine. Um, good. Yeah, did you have anything else to say, Grzegorz?
no,
Okay.
I thought
Um,
it would be interesting.
yeah, it is interesting, for sure. Good point. Okay, and Edson, can you ask Grzegorz the next question?
Yeah, Yegor, do you think that science fiction writers influence the advances in technology? Why or why not?
I think that we have a proof in in many books of many writers who are dreaming about flying, who dreaming about using the uh, um, actually, what should I say, the car without horses, with trailer without the horses. So I believe that um, writers are sometimes non-technical people who, giving direction to the technical people who can just, you know, um, realize this invention.
Nice. So I think that writers are sometimes innovative people who give directions to technical people who can realize these inventions.
Yes.
That's awesome. Okay. Do you agree or do you disagree, Edson?
Well, I think he's right.
Okay.
I agree completely.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so do I. Okay, and let's go on to the next page. Um, Edson, can you play the old man? And Grzegorz, can you play the young man?
Okay, I know what I'm talking about. I have 30 years in this industry.
How does that help you understand technology that is 6 months old in your oriented culture?
Err,
Please don't hit me with your modem.
Good. And Grzegorz, can you ask Edson this first question?
What does this comic say about technology and jobs?
it says that it's not enough to know the old technology. You need to stay update. At least to know, if you don't know everything, but at least to know what things you are going to use at work, because technology that you use or that we use 6 months, 1 year ago, it's not the same as we use now.
Yeah. Perfect. You need to stay updated.
Updated. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
You
And
okay, updated. Okay.
yeah, no, that's awesome. Do you agree, Grzegorz?
Yeah, I think I agree.
Okay, cool. Edson, can you ask Grzegorz the next question?
Yeah. Jaguars, how important do you think experience is in your job? Explain.
Experience, but I was thinking about the experience in technology, which has something to do with the technology.
Yeah, I think you can take the answer. It's really just open-ended. It's to get you speaking. So you can talk about experience in technology or just experience in general.
Um, okay, so in this case, I think that right now I'm unemployed, so I you know the thing that I was doing for the last 2 years didn't have experience in technology, didn't have any influence on my job. When I was in Poland, you know, this job requires some basic tasks, but it was, yeah, it's basic task if thinking about using the computer, but not really any something advanced. So it's
Okay.
quite typical questions because we think about the typical person.
Okay. Maybe when I was in Poland, my job required knowledge of basic tasks.
Yeah.
That would sound a little bit better. Really good. Yeah, just we would probably use the possessive pronoun when we're talking about jobs. So my job or your job. Um, but good. And Edson, what about you?
I don't think is necessary. Well, you just need to pay attention, and I think this happens in a lot of works these days. Well, it's what our professor said to us in our classes, that you need to prepare, or they are trying to teach you how to adapt to new situations. So it's not about to accumulate lots of knowledge, but how to adapt yourself to changes.
Nice. No. Shoot. But how to adapt yourself to changes. That sounds really good. Um, okay. Nice. And yeah, I think that's really good. Do either of you have any questions here on this page?
No.
No,
Okay.
everything's clear.
And so we've actually run into the end again. Um, so yeah, both really good. Edson and Grzegorz, can you guys talk about technology for a little second while I get something else for us to do?
Yeah, but that will be quite useful if you give us some hint about, the direction of the conversation, because I don't know if we have something like this. Mm,
So what's your least favorite tech development?
um, um, I'm not the biggest fan of the machines because the machines are changing all the time. One of the things, it is more not about the hardware, but it is about the operating systems that I see right now. It was invented in 1969 and still used by many people on the Mac computers, and I see a lot of clones on the cell phones. I see Linux on many personal computers that I still use it. So it is more about, it's not always the new technology. Sometimes it's just old technology, but improve it in many ways.
Okay.
Maybe maybe Edson have something, specific thing that he like about technology.
Yeah, Edson, do you have a least favorite technological development?
Least favorite? It means the thing that I don't like. Or
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
least favorite. so
okay, least. My least favorite technological development, I think, is in the field of transgenic products, vegetables.
Okay.
Because even when people say it's better for our health, no, that we have more, I don't see how that will improve people's lives. Well, because there's a lot of people out there saying that this is not really good, that this kind of products are damaging our people. So I think that's something that I don't like. Or maybe we need to see it in a different way. I don't know.
Yeah, we need to
Explain myself.
um,
No.
manage it in a different way. Yeah, I think that's a good way of looking at it. So it's something that maybe we need to do in a different way. Um, and so, Grzegorz, what do you think about that? What do you think about like technologically modified foods?
The problem with the technologically modified food, it's I remember it is not my knowledge. I remember it is, if we think about the way how it spread quite fast, but later we cannot control this process. So in this case, I always against of the creation of the things that we won't be able to control in the future, and it is quite risky if we try to rely on the technology that is, there's not too many research in this case. It wasn't checked in correct way. It wasn't tested in correct way because in the future we'll find some negative issues that we didn't notice before it will become a standard in our lives.
Nice. Yeah, it'll become a standard issue in our life or like a recurring problem for sure. I think that's a really good point.
But actually, transgenic, if we're thinking about technology, there's always a niche when we observe many cheap devices from many different, producers who actually they are quite dangerous because they're not tested, but people sell it in many countries and people get the access to the things that they shouldn't use it.
Okay. So people get access to things that they shouldn't use because people
They're
still.
dangerous. They're dangerous. They try to imitate something which they aren't, and later people, could be surprised when they will use it and it will become, dangerous for. It just won't be dangerous for their lives or maybe health.
Okay. Yeah. So like what type of technology would you be talking about there?
I was thinking about there was some accidents in the factories about the cell phones. They try to like explode with something.
Explode?
Yeah,
Exploding cell phones?
yeah.
Oh my. Yeah, that sounds terrible. Okay. Pardon?
Yeah, there was some, even if I read articles in some newspapers that it happened in the factories that they shouldn't, took a place. This kind of shouldn't be there.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, probably the battery's exploding or something along those lines. Like Edson was saying, but that sounds really scary. Unfortunately, we're just out of time. Do either of you have any last questions or last points to make?
No.
Okay.
No, everything's clear.
Awesome. Really good classes, some good discussions, some really good conversation.
Thank you for the class, Joshua.
Yeah, thanks for coming in again. It was nice having you. Having you both. And so yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys again soon. Have a really good evening or afternoon or morning, depending on where you are.
Good evening to you too.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
Thank you.